After spending a month in the simulator
I
and
really want
learning
to
the
try
basic
that VR.
operations of the aircraft,
Hi guys, welcome back again. So today we're going to be checking out how Air Force pilots fly the controversial $19 million A-10 Warthog boot camp insider's business. Well, this A-10 Warthog has actually been one of one of human best invention because I've actually seen videos of this A-10 in action. I don't know if most of you have seen the clip I'm talking about, but like it was really impressive. So let's start from the beginning. Wow. Look at that baby
this
roll.
is the A-10 Thunderbolt II, more commonly known as the Warthog. The Air Force uses the A-10 for close air support, missions that require the plane to fly low to provide cover and assist ground troops in battle.
So our whole mission in life and our whole job in
I
life
love
is to take
when
care of the
it
men and women
spits
on the ground.
bullets.
It's the only thing we think about. It's the only thing we train to. It's the only thing we talk about. And it's exactly what this airplane is built to do.
But these pilots may be among the last to be trained to fly it. For years, the Air Force has considered retiring the A-10 in favor of the newer F-35 fighter jet. And that might finally be happening with Congress approving the Air Force's plan to phase out the A-10 over the next 5 to 6 years. But the public debate over the need for the A-10 continues.
It is highly needed.
And while some A-10s are as much as 50 years old, F-35s cost about $60 million more per aircraft and weren't built solely to support ground troops.
There may be a day that I am called to potentially help save someone's life when they're having the worst day of their life. That comes back to my training and making sure that I know what I'm doing in the jet.
So how vital is the
Very
A-10?
vital.
And could the Air Force soon be without one of its most iconic warplanes?
So the only base that A-10 pilots train at is at Davis-Monthan Air Force Base.
Before they fly the A-10, pilots train in the T-38 Talon during their initial flight training in Texas.
They fly completely different based on their flight performance and characteristics.
The T-38 is kind of like a sports car. It's quick, it's agile, it's fast. But the A-10 drives more like a Cadillac.
After graduating from flight training, new pilots move to their assigned posts.
Really liked the mission of the A-10 and thought it was super cool. I like the idea that it doesn't matter what I'm doing, that I'm strictly there for people on the ground.
If you look at it, not the most attractive looking plane, if you will. It's pretty ugly. It doesn't have the swept back wings. It's got, big Hershey bar wings on it for like added stability. So it's just a mean looking airplane, and that's ultimately like what a Warthog is.
What sound does the A-10
My favorite
make when it
sound.
fires?
Like bird, bird, bird. And that's actually just the noise of the bullets exiting the barrel.
This is the Galway Avenger. It's a 30 millimeter Gatling gun. It's built by General Electric, and this is the largest Gatling gun ever built and put into an airplane. So it's got it's 7 barrels. It shoots at a maximum rate about 3,900 rounds a minute. There's almost no target that the Galway is not a valid weapon to use against.
Wow.
As we go around, the titanium bathtub is one of the features designed specifically to protect the pilot in the airplane. So this whole panel right here, where you see these giant Phillips head looking fasteners, that whole panel is titanium. So you can hear all these are hollow aluminum, and that's rock solid titanium right there. This was one of the first fighter types that incorporated that into the design of the airplane, and it's the only one I know about that has a full bathtub encompassing the pilot. Behind this panel right here, this is our single point refueling system right here. So pull that cap off and fill the airplane up with fuel. We have 4 fuel tanks for a total of about 11,000 pounds of gas. If I'm topped off, I can fly for about 3 hours. And then once you add in aerial refueling, we can fly pretty much indefinitely. And then as you're looking towards the back of the airplane, you can see we have a lot of hard points, a lot of weapon stations on the airplane. There's 11
I just saw
in
something, right? I saw when he wanted to show us the refueling part of the aircraft, right? He pressed something, the thing came off, and then he now showed us, right? And I'm definitely sure that he will have to actually lift it up to close it. Now, why I'm bringing you guys' attention to this is because I remember when we checked out, I think a certain video that he talked about refilling on the air. So if this was actually manually opened, how does it work when it's being refueled in the air? Like, make it make sense, please. How did they think of something like this? I'm marveled.
In
I
between
feel
those,
like
we
a
carry up
baby.
to 16,000 pounds of ordnance on those 11 weapon stations. This is a Mark 82 bomb body, so a 500-pound bomb body, just a blast and fragmentation type weapon that you drop it, it's unguided on impact, and it detonates. This is a GBU-31. It's a 2,000-pound bomb with a GPS
Wait,
guidance kit on the
You
back.
sound all these, they are bombs now, right? Or missiles, I don't know which. I think bombs or missiles. Do you see how big they are? But you know when they are in the aircraft, they look so small. But look at, I believe that this one that this man is standing right next to is as tall as the man. I never knew that missiles are this huge. To be frank, especially those ones that are in the aircraft. I know about the ones, I think I have ideas of the ones in ships, because I normally see how big those holes that they normally come out from is. And, when they say the crew should carry it to the station, blah, 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 I can't really remember how it works in a naval, operating environment. I don't know whether they are the one that carry it manually, but I think I've seen something like that where they carry the missiles, like about 6 to 7 men, carry it on their shoulders, like very heavy stuff, then load it onto a chamber to be fired and everything like that. So that's why I know that those ones are huge, but I never knew that the ones on the aircraft are similar to that. It's insane, like really insane.
So it's a
How is
coordinate-seeking
the aircraft
weapon,
able
meaning
to fly?
I can input a GPS coordinate, and that's exactly
With
where
all
that
these
weapon's
weights?
going to go.
But how does the A-10 stack up to the F-35 meant to replace it? Supporters of the F-35 say it has a huge stealth advantage, but detractors say it doesn't have the durability the A-10 does thanks to features like the titanium bathtub. Another concern is how F-35 pilots are trained. Insider reported that according to a 2022 training memo, no F-35 pilots are required to execute close air support training simulations in 2023 or 2024. For A-10 pilots, close air support is at the center of their training, which starts here in a virtual reality simulator lab.
So they're going to start off in the VR lab, and that's going to give them the sight pictures and the references on the ground and the references in the aircraft for the first time.
So simulators are extremely important. They're able to practice everything in a safe environment with, professional instructors before they get out and actually fly them on their own.
Students familiarize themselves with the A-10's control panels and starting procedures before moving on to the flight simulator.
We're going to open our air-to-air refueling door at this point.
He was doing aerial refueling. It's a mission that the students actually perform in the aircraft pretty early in their training pipeline. Historically, without this lesson, it's usually taken about 10 to 15 minutes of talking to the student through getting the successful hookup in flight.
I really want to see that.
Usually taken about 10 to 15 students actually perform in the aircraft pretty early in their training pipeline. Historically, without this lesson, it's usually taken about 10 to 15 minutes of talking to the student through getting the successful hookup in flight. Whereas now that we're able to have them practice with this lesson, they go out on that first flight having already done it before.
We want to take a look at our airspeed as we're in formation with the tanker.
Now the feedback we're getting from instructors is that they're just going right up to the boom and they're getting their hookup on their first try.
For the VR sim, you're getting the muscle memory. So the first time we practice it in the jet, we know physically what we're doing with our hands, and we know where our eyes should be, where we should gauge, and then our IPs are helping us fine-tune those things.
After spending a month in the simulator
I
and
really
learning
want to
the
try
basic
that VR.
operations of the aircraft, pilots
I
began
know I'm
flying
not a
training
pilot, but
missions
like,
in the A-10.
it's gonna be intense. Really, really intense.
Captain Lindsay Mad Johnson has 5 years of experience flying the A-10. Today, she's training for a new role to be a pilot on an A-10 demo team, where she will highlight the capabilities of the Warthog.
I am about 2 hours shy of 1,200 hours in the A-10 itself. They call it like a crawl, walk, run process. So I did it in the sim multiple times. Then we go out to the airspace for my first time with a floor, not actual floor, but a simulated floor of 5,000 feet AGL. And then I go here, 2,000 feet AGL, 1,000 feet AGL, and then 500 feet AGL until I got through my first certification.
After Johnson completed a few rolls and dives, she moved on to simulating a strafe, which is an attack on enemy ground forces, a technique used in close air support operations.
So when we do close air support, we are egressing, as they say it, from in front of the target area. I'm going out about 2.5 miles away at about 500 feet, and then I'm turning back around this way. And as I'm about just outside of a mile, I'll pop to about 30 degrees nose high, which allows me to get high enough to be able to see there is what would be designated as the friendlies and what would be designated as the enemy on the ground. And then as I visually acquire that out over my canopy rail, I'm then rolling in using both ailerons. My throttles are already in max. I'm rolling in, and then I'm putting basically my nose position down on what we consider to be like a 20-degree wire. So rather than flying straight and level, I'm 20 degrees nose low towards the ground. I learned about the A-10 growing up. I knew I wanted to do something kind of to pay homage to my dad's time in service. I was young when September 11th happened. I was 9, and he deployed 2 months after September 11th happened. That kind of stuck with me, and I knew I wanted to do something that was going to give back to my country as well.
Wow, that was really impressive.
The A-10 debuted in combat in 1977, making it just shy of 50 years old, which is one reason many want it to be retired. For years, the Warthog has been the subject of debate between the U.S. Air Force and Congress. Some members of Air Force leadership have suggested retiring the A-10 to focus on developing more modern aircraft, like the $80 million F-35.
Then why would you want to retire the least expensive, most accurate close air support system?
I don't want to retire it, Senator, but the Air Force has to get bigger to do all this.
But Congress has fought those requests due to the success of the A-10 in recent conflicts with ISIS and the Taliban, and the plane's overall cost efficiency.
It's tried and true. It's very rudimentary with the systems that it has, but why fix something that's not broke? It's been in every conflict that the United States has been in since Bosnia, Grenada, pretty much every contingent that the United States has been a part of. The A-10 has been pretty much the leader of all that.
Last year, Congress approved an Air Force proposal to retire 21 A-10s, reducing the total fleet to 260, with plans to decommission the remaining planes in the next 5 to 6 years.
People don't realize how much maintenance actually goes into keeping these aircraft airworthy. It's not like a car, When we wake up in the morning, we jump in the car, start it, and drive, right? These have starting issues, they have leaks, they're 40, 50 years old. They all have somewhere between 13,000 to 15,000 flight hours on them. And that exceeds the actual life expectancy of the airframe by, 5,000, 7,000 hours.
A-10 critics may use the plane's maintenance issues to fuel their argument, but the cost of maintaining the F-35 jumped 15% between 2018 and 2020.
Maintenance costs 500 and something to 600 and something million.
Once we all finish, we'll go to the different assigned bases.
That's
so I'll be
huge.
going to Korea next.
How can it cost?
It's just fun
Wow.
to fly. It does a job that no one else does, and you're good at that. That is your thing. That's the A-10's thing.
After completing the 6-month training program at Davis-Monthan, newly certified A-10 pilots will begin their careers as fighter pilots in the U.S. Air Force.
The plane was built well before I was alive, and knowing just like the generations of people that flew the plane before me were looking at the exact same gauges that I'm looking at. So it's a pretty unique experience. I knew as like a younger child that I wanted to fly the A-10. My grandpa was in the Army. He has seen the A-10 like when he was in the Army do things, and so that was even more just like a further drive to pursue the airplane.
While everybody knows us for the gun and its capabilities, a thing that we take most pride in as an A-10 community is protecting the lives of the men and women that are on the ground.
Definitely. That is why I can never support that agenda to, retire it. Because at the end of the day, what matters is the lives of the men and women that are down on the ground. Because I will not say I've seen it real life, but like I've seen videos of this A-10 Warthog in action. And I can tell you from personal experience, no aircraft can do it better than the A-10. Many of you are going to argue with me on that, but that is my opinion from what I have seen. This aircraft is built to muddy the ground. It's built for war. It's built to take a beating. It's built to last. Honestly, I will be very sad to see it go. I'll be very sad because I really love the A-10. I even love the shape of it, the mount, there is this excitement you get when you are inside an A-10 Warthog, because you know that this is going to be a dogfight, and in a dogfight, the only thing coming out alive from that dogfight is an A-10 Warthog. Be it air, be it land, I'm definitely counting on the A-10 Warthog to beat the hell out of anything and everything that is an enemy combatant. But that is my own 2 cents. Well, it's been a wonderful time actually checking out this, and I'm very sad to hear the fact that they are trying seriously to retire the A-10 Warthog, but I'm not a military person, so what do I know? I might not even know why they are trying to retire it. Maybe they are not having enough pilots to fly the A-10 Warthog as they used to, or maybe, I don't know, a countless reason. But they say it is the person wearing the shoe that knows best how the shoe fits and where the shoe hurts. So I'm definitely going to say I would really, really, really be sad to see the A-10 Warthog go. But like I said, I'm not a military person, and they know what is best for them to serve at the utmost best they can. So thank you guys for sticking around to this part. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on this video. I'll see you guys on the next one. For now, remember, blessed and